Alright. Meeting has begun.
Woo.
Right on.
I love the progress that Teo made on the low res models so far for the block out.
Makes me want to play GoldenEye and then 64. Looks good, yeah.
It
Hell yeah.
looks very good for a block out.
Yeah, it does look good for a block out. Matter of fact, let me pull up mine.
I can show you guys what I have so far for the inventory system.
Cool.
Now, mind you, the code, if you guys want to look at the code, it's not commented yet because we're still working on it.
Whatever you
Yeah,
want
of
to see.
course.
Okay. Appreciate it, yeah.
Alright, so this is your inventory. It's a little small because I have a different monitor over here, so I'll bring it bigger.
Oh,
So you got an armor equipment spot. If there's more tabs, let me know. And you got consumables, so it's potions and whatever kind of drinks you want to do. And you can make these a little more. You can make more slots in there. It's just a variable you gotta change. And then you can put your inventory, and then this is for the code coins or tempo coins.
Tempo coins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tempo coins.
Okay.
Nice.
And then is there another currency, or is it just tempo coins?
No, it's only
I'm just trying to think if there's anything special. Well, besides the time gems, there won't be a number for that. So yeah, I guess tempo coin. Wait, there's a score too, right?
The score is on the main HUD. It's not a form of currency, but it will be displayed on the main HUD and on the inventory.
Yeah, so answer is just 100.
Yeah. My question is whenever the inventory menu is going to be up, is the game effectively going to be paused?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like Breath of the Wild kind of inventory.
Yeah, because I mean, we
Okay.
can make background not like visible, like we can make it see-through, and then you can make it not paused if you wanted to, or Zeke, if that's how the game is supposed to be played out. But I just gave it a solid background.
I feel like it should be paused, considering it's like, if it's see-through, and like, you have your inventory open, you're like inspecting some of the stuff that you got, and all of a sudden you see an enemy coming in, maybe it's like a flying enemy, you can't do anything to like pick up, to like...
There's at least one or two enemies that in every room, adjacent room, or a bat come after you.
Look, I know people dog on the whole thing of just like pausing, stopping time to heal myself and change weaponry first before going into combat, but honestly, it's not that bad of a system, especially when you have such a like interactive and constantly changing world around you.
Yeah, it's fun. And, my community is actually more retro based. It's actually patience. There's certain it's good. I can't talk.
like how I pictured with the inventory itself. I was thinking that more like there would be a quick inventory system similar to like Skyrim. I mean, not Skyrim. Like Elden Ring, but like when you go into like the actual inventory to look for like if you got your key items or if you got like your the your new abilities that like we was discussing with the with the combo system and stuff. It will give you a list of the combos. Like it'll be more like for details oriented. Like you can still stop time and like look at like use a health potion that's in your inventory. But I felt like it was more like with the quick inventory, it would be more simpler for them to know which one they had attached.
So attached, as in
Like if they have any other time gems or if they have any other key, well, not key items. I'll take that. That's well, there will be like a little notification near like the player's health bar or something that shows like you got a key item or something like that. But other than that, I say that like you would have like more of a health, like you could have like the health potions or like the type of el- or the type of elemental combo that you already selected and stuff like that. If that's not, if that doesn't sound confusing, I felt like I'm confusing the heck out of people right now.
So the combos are gonna be selected. You're not gonna be able to like change the.
No, I meant like no, that's not what I meant with the combos. I tried to use that as a bad example. Sorry, but it was more like you will be able to check in like the inventory for like the details of like how you do that combo or something.
Yeah, so like on this side
Oh,
right here, we'll have like a list of like combo moves right here that you've unlocked.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I just have
so
it out
kind
there.
of like, so kind of like your standard like Street Fighter type game.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I can make a list of combat skills that you've unlocked here.
Mm.
Okay, that'll be okay. I'll see how I can do that.
yeah. Dragon. That's what I meant. Like a quick slot bar for like if you for like the potions and like other items.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, my next phase after getting this done is going to be adding a quick slot bar, which you'll have potions and I think I might add a third tab for the time crystals, so that the player can select the time crystal they want to use, or
The time crystals will also be in like a quick slot bar, but inside the inventory, it'll tell you the details of like what you can also select them in the inventory, but it will also show like the details of what this time crystal can do and how it can benefit for the player.
okay, sounds good. I can definitely do that. Okay, sounds groovy. Oh yeah. I guess I added a component that you can attach to any character. So it's the blueprint component, and you can add this into anybody. And I made its own action mapping system, so that if you wanted this to be a multiplayer game down the line, then one person doesn't have to have the inventory, or the enemies, they're not going to have the inventory. So made it its own thing. And then you can create the inventory, of course, right here. That's just resizing it to load the inventory at the proper amount.
Nice.
But,
I wasn't even thinking about a multiplayer system.
yeah, but just in case, I like to make modular. But, and then with the item, you can simply put it in the world. Let's say like this. You can put it in the world, and then we have the table that's called DT items. And what you do is you can name the row of what it's called, and then add in the name of it within the table, of course. Give it a description, and I'll make sure that the while in the inventory, once you hover over, the description will pop up so that the player can see what it does. You set the stack size of what you want the item to be, and then I made an icon generator where if you have like an item you want to use, you can go into your, let's do a static mesh, and let's make is that a sword, for example. So if you have the sword here, you can set it however you would like the sword to look, and then you can go back into here, go into render targets, and on this RT icon you can right click and then say create static texture, and then that will give you one of these textures right here, and then that'll be the image that you use.
That's
Oh, cool.
cool.
Very clever.
Hey,
Nice.
would it work if like we tried doing the VFX? Because like if we do that for like the elements, it would be really look.
Yeah, it'll work for anything. If it's a VFX, all you would have to do is just add if it's a Niagara particle system, then just add the Niagara. And if it's the old one, I think that's can't remember the old system that they have. But if it's
Want to
Niagara,
say it was Cascade?
Cascade. I think it's a Cascade. Yeah, Cascade particle system. If it's Cascade, just drag these in, and then you can again set it up how it is, and then take the picture from the RT icon, and boom, you just have a picture of it.
Cool.
And then you can set the power, which I'm going to try to find a way to get this power associated to the damage system. I still got to figure that out. And then the mesh is going to be what item or thing that you're using. And then if it's for example, a chest piece like armor, I like the armors to be a skeletal mesh so that when it goes on the player, it takes the animation blueprint and actually works with the animation blueprint instead of like being a static mesh where it just kind of like stays still while the player's moving.
Agreed.
So whoever's making the models for armor, if we could make those skeletal meshes, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, but other than that, that's basically how that's all done. But it's got inventory system, pops up, and this is the interact for it. Just makes a sphere trace and then collects any item that's within that area.
Awesome.
Which I like a lot more. We can make it bigger though, because it is kind of small right now. Like, that's the area that you can pick up. And sometimes potions are a little hard to pick up. I don't know why it's not picking it up, but I'll figure that out in a second.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But yeah, but other than that,
Awesome.
you guys
Thanks for
any
sharing.
questions?
Pretty cool. No, no questions. Just no. That's good.
Perfection.
Do you have any other updates? Marley or
I got one that's pretty short, and one that took me like 3 days to fully put together for something super simple.
makes sense.
Appreciate the endurance.
Yeah, Joseph here knows what I'm talking about. Here we go.
How it goes.
That is my phone.
Hi, phone.
Sorry if I echo throughout my stream, but basically, the timer. I had to redo the logic for it twice.
No, Peter, but I'll play you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but first things first, I had to basically redo the entire thing because it was getting the world delta seconds, where it wouldn't pause with the pause menu. So that was an issue that I had to fix. But now, it's up here in the corner and is actually added to the regular HUD via just widget implementation. But within the timer itself, we had to use a time span variable in order to properly set minutes and seconds to text using these two text blocks that we use for minutes and seconds. So, by setting the timer that way, and properly setting the time using this time span, something so simple that I didn't even know about, which, yeah, you learn stuff in Unreal every single day. But essentially how this works is now... Give it a moment. There we go. So now it starts immediately upon the player starting the level. So it turns seconds, and eventually it turns it 60 seconds into minutes, which is displayed on where each of the zeros were formerly. But now when I pause the game, gonna wait a couple of seconds, and it automatically pauses with it. So as long as this widget is in effect, this timer is effectively canceled out. So the timer issue has now officially been resolved. There are a couple of things I might have to implement with it, such as resetting the timer upon hitting a new level, but that is something that could probably easily be condensed down into a custom event that could be called at the start of every level. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do it yet, but yeah, that is now fixed. And it just, the previous method I was using after I dismantled the delta seconds was just for some reason not working. And Joseph even tried it himself. It was working on his end. So it's a little bonkers.
Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't displaying. It wasn't grabbing the widget information when it was loading up.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, and then.
But yeah.
Grace, what do you think? I think we should put double zeros.
Yeah, that's
that.
what I just noticed.
Yeah. I think all you have to do is add a double instead of a float text. I think it's just a double. I think it should work.
In the timer, right?
Yeah. Or where you get it from. Yeah, that. Instead of doing it from text
Seconds.
Do two text double.
Huh.
No. 1 second. Let me so within the integer tab, yeah, if you just
Integer here?
if you just expand it with the little arrow down, then you could say how many integer digits.
This is
you want
minutes.
to show.
So I think with minutes especially, I would have to do 2 because it would go into
Double
that.
digits.
So
And then that one also be 2. Yep, and then boom.
let's just see how that looks. Again, I could refine it later, just by tinkering around with it, but.
Yeah, I think that'll be great. I think that'll be.
There we go.
Yeah,
Looks
that'll
good.
be- Okay, cool.
Nice.
Alright. Yeah, that's all I have to really
Oh, much appreciated. Nice. Thanks for sharing. That's cool. Glad.
really show. I think I'm definitely gonna focus on implementing the health and mana system. I was intending on doing that earlier this week. It's just the programming branches weren't merged yet, and there was some complications with the main character blueprint, from what I've heard, in which my pause menu code did not get saved to the main character, so I had to re-implement that.
Right. Well.
Which actually caused me to refine it entirely and create an enhanced input for it. Which I realized, hey, that could actually make it a little bit better and more optimized for players, because you could either hit the continue button to make it go away, or you could hit the escape button twice just to open it and close it. Which is what most games do anyway, so I thought it's no-brainer. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna submit this just so I don't forget it later.
Never hurts.
Yeah.
As far as updates from me, I haven't really been doing anything modeling wise. I've just been mainly focusing on working with Zeke to get the big model asset list done, and just gathering up references and then I think we're just gonna go from there.
Okay.
I think that was about our plan.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's awesome. Zeke, you're screaming, and I'm assuming it's attached to what you said. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe so. I believe.
My window. There's.
Like I can't read his mind. I don't know what he's doing.
Sorry, I was trying to show it off.
You're good. Go for it.
So far, me and Marley have been going through and creating more references. We went through the modern age. We went through the cyber world, and also thanks to Gray, I've also added like some more features for the miscellaneous, which is the ability systems and. I mean, not ability. I'm sorry. I'm half asleep, so I'm trying to make everything make sense. The menu, the UI, and for any of the UIs that are finished or not finished, please let me know, Gray, and I'll mark them down on here.
Yeah.
And other than that, we just got done with the industrial level, and we'll put in the references for that later. I still got to finish the medieval first, and
Yeah, we're just focusing on references for one world at a time. Like he's got medieval, I'm doing Jurassic right now, and then once we're done with that, then we'll move on to another world. Just that way, neither of us are overwhelmed.
right. The only worlds that we haven't done yet are the mod. No, I already said we did that one. Space World, World War, and the tutorial. Did we? Yeah, we did Cyber. Sorry, I know I'm flipping through them kind of fast. No, it's just the Space and World War are the last, and tutorial are the last two. 30.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And other than that, me and Cosmo also met and we discussed on trying to create more details about the levels that would go on. Like, there will be things that are called gates that will block the player and require the player to do certain things just to get to this part of the level, while there are valves that if the player chose this path, it will block the other path, and so they will have to like go through a replayability just to get to that other side. And one of the ideas to lure the player to one of those paths is the pile of tempo coins at the bottom for the Jurassic World. One of the gates were there would be like a giant lava fall that would require you to speed up the lava and turn it into rock. You use the speed gem's power to speed up so fast that it starts going into the point where the lava turns solid, and then you can just break it with any attack. And then there's like a lava lake that requires you to have like so you won't be hurt, so you won't die as you try to walk on. Other ideas was like you had to get key items from like other enemies that will unlock a gate to the next area. And then we thought of a good idea for like the special event where basically if you find a dinosaur egg and you give it back to the mother T-Rex, she will lead you. You will start taking control of the T-Rex as you try to escape from the ever shifting environment that's trying to wipe you out with not only an avalanche but also a river of lava. And while the industrial world, there will be like a smog cloud that will block your path. If you try touching it, it will basically start poisoning and killing Co. But if you use the stop gem and your wind ability, you'll be able to blow out the smog cloud for a bit before it starts reforming on the other side. But it gives you like a good opening of walking through. And other than that, we also said that there will be like speeds up at the opposite direction from Ko that will require you to either have like the stop gem or the slow gem just to make sure you can get past there, or like the speed gem, which would put you in the pace. It depends on which gem ability you're using at the moment. And we were still thinking like different types of gates and valves. Like there will be one where like you're on a runaway train and you're trying to make sure that you get to the other side, but by shooting the track switchers, you're able to change the direction of the train to make sure you can keep going. In this sense, this is 2D, will take you up or down. And what else? Well, also we thought of that inside the industrial city there will be a sewer where there'll be more inability and other stuff that were more nastier in a sense.
All right.
And so, anybody got any questions for that?
No. Not that I can think of anyway.
Okay. And other than that, I've been working on the level, and I was working on some more of it today. What's that?
I was also typing while listening, so everything sounded like I was paying attention halfway. Sorry.
That's cool.
No, it's me and you already met yesterday, so it's all good. It was a repeat, and I appreciate that you saying the progress.
No problem. So I did a little bit more with the first level of the world. I'm basically going to put a bunch of rooms over here. But right now, I'm just trying to get like the basic outline that I have in my rough draft finished for this. I would have had more of this done, but I was dealing with another family emergency that showed up, and my uncle's in the hospital now. But
Sorry to hear. Hope everything goes better.
yeah, me too. But so far, this is what I have. I also written like a new. If you check in the writing doc in the writers chat, I've also added another backstory for a new character. I decided to put them in PDF forms now. I think it would be better than people reading a whole list like that, and just have like a whole file just in case if they ever want to check out. Alright, and that's all of my updates plus Molly's.
Sounds good. I did post pictures and got comments and stuff. That's basically all I added to that. I do want to show. So I am making sure as I'm doing levels to make sure it's pretty accurate to what we've been working on and our new document. I have a question for Zeke. Is there 2 item shops in the space world because of the 2 space stations?
No, there's only one item shop in the space world.
Where would that be? What level?
I'm planning to put in level 3 at the beginning of it.
Okay, so that would be the idea behind that is Mercury space station.
Yes.
Okay, cool. We don't gotta work on this now. I just wanted to. That was my one question to you that I wanted to ask earlier. But other than that, we're working on that together, and actually throughout the week, whenever we get to have ideas like the one now. Other than that, no, I don't want to like string this along too long. I didn't no other updates besides what I said. And thank you,
Oh
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, if you want to see pictures, I did post it in chat. Pictures of the updates for level 2, block mesh, and the little cave areas where I'm planning on having the little secret dino coin, and kind of have it a little more complex than that. Actually, that's just a quick little cavern thing. I want a little more complex than that, but other than that, so I'm good. I'm good with talking.
Sounds good. Uh, Also, I just remembered, Joe, is there a way to like create like a level checkpoint that would like I mean now I don't think it would be called a level. It would be like a flag. Basically, if you cross this flag, it will let you go to a specific place in the other level.
Yeah, we can set up checkpoints that will be bound to like a location in a different level. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering that because some of the levels me and Cosmo were thinking of were we wanted like some entrances to different parts of another level to be like once you cross that finish line.
Oh, right. Exactly. That just reminds me of I could have put a fifth picture. I did correct. The exits for level 1 is matching the entrance to level 2 now. So that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's possible.
Here, have a good one, Peter.
See you later, Peter. All right. Well, I think I'm also going to take that head out and go finish up dinner.
Oh,
There
sounds
you
good.
go.
Have a good night.
Yep. Have a good night.
All right. I'm going to take that as my cue to stop the recording then.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
I think everything's been covered.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.